This is the number of human beings on the planet. Literally billions of us, and each of us individual, unique. But we all have one thing in common: our body. We're about to take a journey from conception to birth and beyond that will unearth some of our deepest secrets.
The process of conception, then, it just continues to amaze me.
Lay bare the incredible capabilities of the human body.
Every cell in the human body is important and vital.
And revolutionize the way we think about ourselves.
At the end of the program, everybody watching it will be a different person.
You'll never look at your reflection the same way again after you've examined your body in numbers. Our body is constantly performing incredible feats of endurance and reliability. It's generating a wealth of numbers and statistics that both surprise and amaze. And yet most of us take our body totally for granted. Not convinced? Well, how much blood does our heart pump every day?
I haven't got a clue.
I really don't know.
That's quite a hard question.
Really don't know. Haven't got a clue.
The answer is thousands of litres every single day. And that's what this series is all about. Decoding the body's vital statistics. Laying bare the numbers that reveal how incredible our body is. But rather than just tell you what they are, we're going to show you what they are. For instance, this is the amount of sweat the average person will produce in a lifetime. 14,197 litres. Enough to fill all 548 of these buckets. This is the amount of new bone you will grow. More than 12 bodies worth. And these bottles contain the total number of tears you will shed in your life. All 119 pints of them. But these are more than just eye-opening figures. They also reveal a story. It's the story of ourselves. Our entire life's journey. That voyage is explored over 4 programs, examining the key parts of our body as they develop. But the initial steps, from conception to our first birthday, are what concern us now. And they all start with one of these. Can you see it? Stupid question. Let's magnify it 20 times. Okay, that's not much more helpful. Let's try it 1,000 times bigger. This is a real cell from a real body. And it's about 0.05 of a millimetre across. It's actually a brain cell, and it's one of thousands of different cell types our body contains. Some give us energy, others help us sweat, and we're making millions of new ones every second. But because cells are so small, it can be a bit tough getting your head around the numbers involved. However, think about it in a different way, and it all becomes clear. What if every cell in your body was a grain of sand? If that were the case, then the amount of cells you produce in just, say, 10 minutes would look something like this. Our body is generating around 300 million new cells every minute. And all those new cells are needed just to replace the ones we use up or wear out. But how many cells does our body contain in the first place? Well, if each were a grain of sand, then the number of cells in your body would look like this. Spread along this beach are not millions, not billions, but trillions of sand grains. In fact, the average person contains around 100 trillion cells, which, if they were grains of sand, would make a beach a mile long. might seem like a lot, but every one of these cells, doing millions of different jobs, is exactly what makes us human, instead of dogs.
The interesting thing is, of course, all of the cells in the body are generated from a single cell. And so the most, if you will, potent cell, the cell that can go in every conceivable direction, of course, is that initial cell.
That first cell, the one that will make us who we are, is only formed at the moment of conception. That's when the 23 chromosomes from our mother are added to the 23 from our father to create our own biological blueprint, our unique DNA. But when this Big Bang creates our individual universe, there's no knowing how our life will turn out. These parents had 8 children together. But look at them in detail, and it's clear that their DNA has given them each their own distinctive features. In fact, their attributes, tastes, strengths and weaknesses will distinguish them just as clearly as if each had different parents. So what about you? Who do you take after? Your mum or your dad?
I've got my dad's nose, but I take after my mum more, because like, everyone says I look just like her.
I think I take after my dad, because my dad has got a beard.
I think I could take after my mother in looks and probably my eating habits.
My mum, have got her emotions. I'm very emotional.
Well, genetically, I believe I take after my dad more. Everybody says I look more like him than my mother.
Personality traits come from my mother. I'm very loud and obnoxious, just like my mom.
Our DNA affects so many aspects of our makeup. Our height, our weight, our IQ, our hair colour, or whether we'll have any hair at all. In fact, our DNA affects so many different variables that unless you're talking about twins, brothers and sisters will be completely different in many, many ways.
So DNA makes every one of us absolutely unique. You and I almost certainly differ in at least 5 million different ways from each other in the DNA. And for you to be born again, an identical you to arrive, I would say you probably need enough babies to fill the solar system, and that's a lot of babies.
Indeed, determining who we are might seem like the ultimate in random events. But the explanation behind our staggering uniqueness becomes clearer when we look at the sheer size of our DNA. This couple is expecting their first baby. And as any parent knows, trying to agree on a name can be a source of some debate. However, the number of possible names pales into insignificance when compared to the amount of information that's contained in their baby's DNA. Imagine these books were filled with the genetic information in your DNA that makes you, you. There's so much of it that written down, it would fill the 564 books on these shelves. And it would take 9.5 years to read it out loud. Biographically speaking, that's quite a description.
Our DNA is an amazing molecule. There's only 2 meters of it, 6 feet, in every cell in your body. But there's a whole lot of cells in your body. So if you were to rush out of the street and be knocked flat by a speeding bus, the DNA in your body, wherever you are, would stretch from that wet patch on the pavement to the moon and back 8,000 times.
But if you think the vastness of our DNA is the most impressive fact about our body, then hold tight. The story gets even more astonishing as we develop inside the womb.